Hello and welcome to video 23, and believe it or not, I'm going to show you some more locator tips for the AKAI MPC Live III. I thought I'd completely wrapped it up the other day, and then I had a tip from someone about using the pads, and that led to some other stuff. I'm just going to very quickly show you those extra bits. This will be a very short video. One little tip I want to show you, which is nothing to do with the locators, is that if you are going into the browser like this, and let's say for sake of argument I want to load up a demo song, this cassette logo leads to the demos. There they are. I'm going to double tap that. Now you can see at the top you've got 91 vocals demo featuring Chante Marie. That's the one that I want, and you can see as it moves down through the alphabet alphabetically with the numerical stuff at the top. If I press this tiny little arrow here so it goes down, you notice it's W's at the top now, and in other words it's gone reverse, it's gone Z to A and the numeric stuff's at the bottom. So that little arrow there is a way of changing the order, so numeric A to Z or Z to A numeric. So let's load this in. In video number 21, like I said, I showed you the tip about using the pads to create the locators. I'll just very briefly show you that again. I'm going to press locate. I'm going to go to locators, get rid of all these that have been set, and we're going to set some new ones. Now, you might remember if you watched that video that you use the 6 yellow pads to set the locations and the 6 green, blue, whatever you think they are, pads to choose them afterwards. Now, one thing I realised as soon as I finished recording that video is that if you hold shift and you press these yellow pads, the locations will go in at exactly that point. They won't snap to the bar that's just gone past. Let's show you that first of all. So we'll run the track. So hold shift. See odd amount. Let's do another one. See, they're coming in at odd times. If I don't press shift, watch what happens. It jumps to the beginning of a bar. Do another one like that. But hold shift. I've now got these 6 location points. Some of them are set at odd times because I pressed shift before I pressed the yellow pad. Let's look at this time menu. Now it says set loop range by locator. Okay, so just bear that in mind. I'm going to run the track. I'm going to use these bottom 6 pads to choose the locations. He say I'm the best in the 2. Best indeed. Now he wanna bag it. Now you can hear that they're not jumping to these weird locations. They are jumping to the first beat of the bar. So if I press 6 here, it should go to 12/4/89. But look at the arrangement. It's gone to 12. It's snapped to the beginning of bar 12. There wasn't much point, was there, in setting those locations. So how do I get around this? Well, I go to the time menu. I turn set loop range by locator off. Now, if I go back to the locators, let's choose number 2 here, and you'll see when I go to the arrangement, it's gone to that odd timing, 5/166. And I can do it on the fly, so I press play start. So if I press 3, this one here, so it should be somewhere just after 6/4/52 now. Yeah, it's gone on to bar 7 because obviously I didn't stop it, but now I can press these buttons and it'll go exactly where I want. So 6 should be 12/4/89. There it is. But if set loop range by locator is on, okay, and I press, say 1, should be 2/3/25, but it will be 2, you see? So you've got to turn set loop range by locator off if you want to get to these odd times, otherwise it will snap to the beginning of the previous bar. And as someone pointed out to me, which is fairly obvious I think, you can choose the locations by pressing these pads, and you can also choose them by pressing these here. If I press number 5, you see 5 is flashing there and 5 is flashing there. If I press number 1, 1 and 1. So you can choose the locations from here, the pads, or from here, these play buttons. So every time I think I've finished showing you everything there is about the locators, something else crops up, but hopefully I have finished it now, and I think those tips I've shown you today are pretty useful, aren't they? These pads are great for setting and then choosing those locations. Just bear in mind about what happens when you set these odd timings. You won't get to them if you've got set the range by locator on. You have to turn that off. Thank you very much for watching this video, and you'll hear from me very soon. Bye for now.